Thank you very much. Nice to be here and joining from Germany. And one big thank you to you, JP, for giving a chance talking here. So my name is Peter Schupp, coming from Steinbeis University. I'm co-founder of the School of Management and Technology and somehow CITO, whatever. And I want to start with this short, brief sentence that we probably all know, that the future will not be won by technology and the knowledge, but with the people and the companies who actually know how to master it. So coming from that organization, since we're doing technology transfer here in Germany for more than 50 years, that always meant for us to focus on the both sides, focus on the academia, on the university, but even more so on the companies who really need that knowledge, and especially today, new technology is all about AI, so how to use that. But these two sides are very important for us, and we're in this circle to help them. So for the universities, the typical business model somehow, as we all know, is then, okay, let's sell the IP we have, created great knowledge in our universities, trying to find the market for that, but we all know that only a fraction finds a target to be applied. So that's one thing. The other thing is that we actually educate the people, that we give all the knowledge that we have into the young people, into the people who are doing lifelong learning, to bring their knowledge into the company, but actually not so much as universities taking care and responsibility for what they do with this knowledge. And so coming from Steinbeis, we always focus on the customer, as I said before. And when we take a closer look at that, it's all about value creation on the customer side. This is actually where the real world application happens. And the real need is not so much the IP or the people sent. It's really the highly skilled workforce they want to have to actually tackle the problems of the future. So there's this high skilled workforce needed, employees who have competencies and who really can drive innovation and change. And also with starting with the IP problem, we need trust on this side. So what did we do actually with Steinbeis and also Germany? We have a strong heritage on this vocational education. As you may know, in Germany, the apprenticeship, the Meistergeselle, actually where the terms like the master and the bachelor were derived from later, have a thing that you can go back to the medieval ages, when the blacksmith had his bachelor with him, showing him all the time what to do and how to do. That's a very important thing. So education, as we understand it, happens on site in the place where the stuff is needed. And then this is also what we used on with Steinbeis and doing this in the technology transfer side. So we focus on this customer, on the companies who create the value for their customers, and try to support them as much since the 80s, when we had the first IT revolution, actually. Fortunately, in the 1990s, with works of Hefner, as you may know, Oesterle, Kretschmer, there was a big movement into designing these information systems. And actually what we did is, okay, there's something going on in academia, understanding the process with a design science research process where we have the academia, but there's the system and the environment on the other side. And we more or less choose this model to extend it and bring that into our world. Where on the one side, we have a university, the academia. On the other hand side, we have the transfer, which is so important actually to create something. So that was a kind of new mapping, and actually two friends of mine and I in 1998, we had this idea to build a whole university on the platform of Steinbeis around that, which was more or less a mapping of the Berufsausbildung, the vocational training or education in Germany, combined with the Steinbeis technology transfer and this process, which is pretty strict actually to create output, and create output in the real world for the real world to really make solutions available in industry and especially in small and medium-sized companies. So we're always talking about this triangle. We have experts from Steinbeis side, from our university side. We have the junior consultant that we call the fellow in our program, and we have a supervisor inside the company. And these three all together, they run the educational path. And to make it clear, we're not talking about an internship where somebody goes for a short period into the company just to see how it works. No, we're running the full program actually in a very, very close relation, one-on-one, with our professors, with our consultants, the juniors and the companies to carry out education and creating value. As a university, we have to understand that for most of the time, we're normal universities doing this kind of knowledge ladder until that point where we provide enough to be able to do something. But what universities normally do not do is go on and go into the field and have this one-to-one learning experience to really create critical, innovative, and entrepreneurial thinking people, workforce, really experts who know how to deal with all this new technology. And that's a certain mindset and the thinking, and that's what we try to implement in our system. So over the years, invented something with new processes for a university and approach, highly connected to industry, which also expanded our responsibilities and tasks. We have to look for the right people. It's a pretty tough process to find these people, find the projects on the other side, understand the customer, what their problems are, bring the people together, make a matching, and then run in parallel with a highly specialized seminar or training and education, but then on the other hand side, application. So that's a kind of new mapping, and that's all. Some speakers already mentioned, it's all, of course, about making business. And I also think that universities have to think about their business models, and they have to think of who's the customer actually, and whom do we want to support. And here, this is the customer success map or management, where we see that somehow the university shifts from a knowledge providing company and just teaching and providing seminars into a research as a service company. And of course, we have revenue streams from that. We have talent, skill development, and creating the value where it is mostly needed, especially in these days when it's so fast and so much going on. I think we meanwhile have a pretty good track record. And I think because we're talking with George Mason also about implementing something that can be a really good thing. Because the big problem is, if the educational systems do not change and do not go where what we teach is needed, actually, or we finally will find out that somehow there's a huge impact also on us as a university. We're obsolete. We got replaced because the knowledge itself is available for free. Everybody can download, even our conference today, can learn by himself and so on and so on. But the big thing is how to apply that. And here's also something very important for augmentation. Also heard that with some talks before, how important it is to somehow to help people to apply that, to make use of it. And we have to stay in this augmentation, because if we as higher education entities, if we don't be at least relevant in that augmentation side and help the companies, then we would have a much bigger problem, especially as a society, and we would see that AI takes over in a way where, well, this is only about stupidity and they don't know how to apply it. They're just using it like, I don't know. And so that was the short talk I wanted to present for a new model where we're in, what we're doing since 25 years here in Germany, and we really hope to continue this under that tagline, also in cooperation with George Mason in the future. Establish something going on. We're always looking for partners in doing so. Thank you very much for listening. I hope I wasn't too fast and too loud.
Thank you, Dr. Schupp. Ken or Young Sik, do you have a comment or a question?
Thank you for excellent presentation. The education and the capacity building has been all the major tools for developing the peoples and the organization. So from UN University point of view, we are widely supporting the Africa and the Asia developing countries. So individual capacity point of view, I think it is very less difference. But from organizational capacity point of view, what are you emphasizing to bring up those capacities? Thank you.
Thank you, Young Sik. Dr. Schupp?
I hope I got that question right. So where will we focus on to implement it? I think it's a big issue to somehow create, starting from creating a kind of entrepreneurial spirit inside the universities, to find professors, and that was our thing in the past, to find professors who really understand that the lab and the teaching is one thing inside their universities, but that the real world happens outside. So it needs professors, it needs an understanding of capable people on academia side who really want to go there, and there's a train the trainer program actually what we do, and it also needs people from industry to bring them more and more into universities, and also to encourage the young people to join these projects and to find the companies, because we're getting our revenue streams just from the projects and the companies, and bring them together. So it's a kind of safe room with each project where we bring everyone together, and training that and change the mindset is the thing to focus on.